The Soweto electricity payment crisis has become a major focal point for party campaigns ahead of the elections. Party leaders are making ambitious promises, from scrapping debt to having residents pay just a minimal amount to the power utility. Meanwhile, many remain in the dark. Reporter Masego Rahlaga is in Zola this morning, where the community has been without electricity since May. Masego, thanks for joining us. A community that's been without electricity since May, why is that?
Well, Tafuma, I've actually just found out I'm in an area called eNCA, also not very far from Zola, and they've actually not had electricity, I hear now, for 6 months. So I'm in a home of a grandmother who lives with her children, grandchildren, and they're basically in one yard with a lot of other family members who, for instance, in one instance is a grandmother who could no longer be taken care of by family outside, and therefore she had to come here. So they haven't had electricity for a while. And Umam Temsile, for instance, Tafuma, needs oxygen. So now oxygen, obviously that machine needs electricity. And my ubungela uguti uguzo utole electricity beningela nonkuguti begmelu ukuthi uyise Zola manje imali futhi lapho.
Ngisa ejabulane bese beyangilanda bengiyo look nyo denza khona, and then kuze kube ngcono ngibe ngcono. Kodwa manje ugesi since for 6 months ungekho, and angikho right. Fanele ukuthi ngihambe ngiye clinic, angikho nje right. Nokuhlala nje la emkhukhwini ngabhalisa indlu for long time, up and down. Sihlala la sibaningi nabantwana. Khona manje kuze nodadewethu ogulayo, ugula ngekhanda akanumuntu omgadayo, ngihlala naye khona la kulomkhukhu. Kodwa ngavota 96 ngabhalisa ilokhu indlu 96 kuze kube namhlanje. Sihlala kulendlu le 11-8 njengoba kunemikhukhu engaka nje, akunamuntu oqhashile. Sonke sila abantwana bethu abazukulu. Kodwa sise South Africa.
Okay, and I just want to translate to you and the viewers, Tafuma, what Mama was saying. Basically, it's not just one issue. She hasn't had electricity for 6 months. It's not the first time that it's happening in this area. eNCA has covered many stories in the area of Soweto where people haven't had electricity, sometimes even for a whole year. And what she was saying was that since 1994, she's been voting and she's been promised a lot of things, but they don't materialize. She says she's got this Form C. And if you're a person who's applied for an RDP home, Tafuma, you would know this form very well. And over here, these documents show that Umam Tembisile actually registered for a home in 1996. Until today, she doesn't have that home and she has to live in a shack with her children. But let me speak to one of her grandkids, Ulindoguhle, because he was explaining to me how they were first told they owe 30,000 Rand to Eskom, and here are the papers here. My colleague Tamsanga will show you. And then lately they've been told that they actually owe 6,052 now. So it's 2 different bills to Eskom. And this is the main reason the township of Soweto is in trouble in terms of electricity here. Let me speak to Lindo Guhle very quickly. Lindo, Ubungela earlier, Uguti, the problem is work. The problem is too many things. You've registered for the 350 Rand grant and you were approved, have never received it. Just explain to the viewers what it feels, what it's like to live in eNCA.
Like, uksala with eNCA, like stress, like everything, like eNCA, stress, like I don't know, is like it's like it's damage the like ubona nasinzi we've tried putting Masego into nanani, but at the end South Africa as you takona has failed. And like it's not hard, like hard, like yabo 14 I went to school in South Africa, izinto ezenzakalayo, and like yonke into as mina ola ekhaya ibheke mina yonke into, like from imali nanani him, like umela supply nanani paraffin every day yabo, like yonke into ibheke mina imali.
So manje uzovota Lindo?
Angeke ngivote. Ngavota last time, like angiboni reason ukuthi sivote, of which foreigners ba unama RDP tina we got nothing, like ayikho into eyenzakalayo kithi asisebenzi sinama qualification, but ke hlile ama qualification needs, so I don't see a reason ukuthi sivote.
Okay, Lindo, ngibongela isikhathi sakho. Well, Tafuma, I think you can tell from his voice as well as Mama Themsile's voice that they've literally just gotten to a point where they've given up. He says he won't even bother voting. He says he voted the last time, but he's still in the same situation. Worsened now, obviously, because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown.
Yeah.
He's a stressed young man, and he says he has qualifications, but he doesn't work. He's had to resort to selling cigarettes so he can try for his family.
Yeah, absolutely breaks my heart to see Mama having to endure so much pain. It's terrible. And hopefully, you know, with the municipal elections coming up, we will see some sort of change or some sort of action taken. Masego Rahlaga is out in Zola, part of our eNCA team.